Be patient, be present, be patient, be present. Expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance upon us, expanded abundance in oneness, expanded abundance is wondrous, expanded abundance is justice, expected abundance is indulgence, expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance is coming. Be patient, be present. Expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance upon us. Be patient, be present. Expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance upon us. Be patient, be present. Expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance upon us. Be patient, be present. Expanded abundance among us, expanded abundance upon us. I am by my side, I can give me hope. I am the silver lining to all of my great thoughts. I am the realignment of stars and telescopes. I am the intertwining atoms and microscopes. I am the silver lining and I am so golden vibrant. The past and future design me. Be present is so exciting. I see in front and behind me. I am on my own timing, cause I am self-centered. Leo ascended shining. I'm so
Supreme Rising, Divine Rising. I am Naga, and today's topic is concept on relationship ideas and other connection values. You're supposed to come into situations knowing that the idea is to have I don't comprehend people going into situations with a half full entity within themselves. Like I don't like, and this is the reason why people are striving to raise their conscious value so they can see people better. You know that thing trying to see people, trying to understand what they're hiding from you and who they are individually. Naturally, you shouldn't have to deal with those things as particular energies. That shouldn't be like the energy in the first couple. It shouldn't be the energy at all through the whole existence of the situation, but particularly it happens to formulate later or sometimes in the middle, some form of value that most people don't can tend to understand, right? So instead of you being partners on the value, you become enemies, right? And this is weird. Me personally, I don't step into um, any of the latter when it comes to the emotional concepts. If I'm done with it, I'm just done with it. I have no thoughts on it. I don't think about it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't gravitate to it. I don't hold anything for it. I just let it go. It's because when it's let go, it's supposed to be let go. It's not supposed to be held on to with a form of negative energy because that just speaks to how you feel, whichever individual was holding the particular form of energy, right? This is important. So, me personally, me personally, um, learning to hold and maintain the value of who you are is just strengthening what you are. So, coming into whatever circumstance that may be, you come in with the value of the fortuitive growth. So, this ain't for players, pimps. This ain't for people who don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for people who are, you know, this is just my disclaimer. This ain't for people who are just about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're getting in relationships about particular reasons, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? This is for people who care, male and women alike, who care and they want something to actually happen. So think about it like this: when you get into a situation, get into it with the value that you and that individual are ride or die for one another. Otherwise, why are you getting into it? You need to learn to match that first. Match the fact that whoever you're going to be with is a ride or die for you. If that's not what it is, then there's no need to put, extra energy into particular situations that don't hold a value. And there's no bad qualms to it. There's no bad energy. It's just you recognizing what it is, right? So, so naturally, situations are not supposed to be multiplied by 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like people have gotten to this retrospect of making things more than one, and then you make excuses to why you need more than one. You make excuses to why your connection has to be multiplied. Oh, this never happened. This never happened. This has always been in the past. This is how this was how it was. Women even did it. And this is no shot to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like not at all. But to comprehend greater than what was, it just shows the understanding of the mental capability. Like I don't have to have a conversation about what was old opposed to what was now. What I need to do is master self-control. The time we're living in is mastering the characteristics of an individual, who you are. Only you know what you need to master. You know what I'm saying? And if you're trying to hold on to days of old, then that just speaks to another particular mentality that people hold on to. Like that's just showing you time traveling. We're trying to move towards the future. And I know particularly from my own experience and watching things go how they supposed to and go wrong, right? Getting a chance to see, matter of fact, I'll say it like this: getting a chance to start something and then watching it fail because of the connections to it, and then getting a chance and believing in people who were not truly for the idea and never getting started. Those two particular experiences that I was able to experience in my life taught me some things. It taught me, one, if I ever do something of that nature in life, the person is going to have to be 100% on the same page as I am. And that's just not about that particular energy. It's about all things. Like we have to be completely 100% on the same page. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no hat and I have a like me personally, I would choose things that would be settling sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like in that particular value. And it's like, why would you even do that? Well, ultimately I didn't look for certain things as a value. And I think that was my issue. Like with a lot of things, I would like say this is okay, or I don't really see that, or I don't give a shit about that. It's not that important. When in fact, these values can't always be taught to people. You can't just say, you know, this is what it looks like, this is what it is. People got to learn and they have to go through life and experience that so they can attach it to themselves as an armor. Experiences and things you go through, knowledges that you learn become know how. They become things that attach to you as who you are as an individual, and you carry that characteristic with you through life because you've learned. Ultimately, the situations that I see today amongst people is that everything is freeze dried and microwave. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to put their all into anything, so everything is like short lived. So I look at today's future as you guys are like disposable cups, disposable plates, disposable silverware. You know what I'm saying? How they gave, like back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Washing dishes was aggravating, you know what I'm saying? But you learn to care for your plates and shit like that. And then as time went by, I started seeing people like, yo, we only use plates for special things. I'm like, you only use plates for special things? What is that? Nah, we got paper plates, cups, and I don't have no problem with that. My thing is it's the usage to the value. So then the way you consume, the way you serve, the way you think, everything starts to be in that same value, even the way you treat your life because it's convenient. So automatically you start to see the same energy transmute over into how people treat one another. Everything is a paper cup. You could just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put effort in the shit. Nothing is just never over. You know what I'm saying? When I get started, like in the beginning, I'll see the flaws, but I'm putting in the work because it's the contract. You see what I'm saying? So you put the work in. This is the contract, and while you're putting the work in, and you're going and you're going forward towards a particular motion, you're gonna see a lot of the failures. It's only when it gets so heinous and super disrespectful. Hold on. So so we're understanding the particular things that people are dealing with, then automatically you can start organizing this shit. You can start organizing how you see your tendencies and how you move towards particular value. It's you. Like I say in a lot of other my bills, like it's your book of life. You know what I'm saying? It's your book of life ultimately, and you have the power, but just moreover, it's a power that exists within choice. And this is where the strength starts to fail at because you will make a choice and then you don't stand to that choice, right? And because you don't stand to that choice, your energy starts to fickle. Like you'll get in the middle of a divine choice. Like everything you do is a divine choice, especially when connecting to beings. Whether people know this shit or not, those are divine choices. You don't just say, you know what, I'm going to connect, and that's it. That kind of plays with the. It's like playing with your food. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and that breath in itself, there's a lot of energy that exists within trying to live a particular energy of your own existence, right? So this is why staying to yourself is very important. If you can stay to yourself, you clear out old energies, right? You can clear out a lot of old energies. You can like let that shit flow. And it's not even about when you clear out energies, you gain a particular character to it. Now, when you clear out energies, you just cool. That should be your overall energy. You shouldn't have to feel any particular type of thing. The connection to value is what you want out of that. So when you want something out of that, this is when the emotions come into a value. A person only acts emotional when they want to put a particular understanding on certain things. You know what I mean? Like people only live in negative or positive energy because they want something from it or they want something to happen to it. That's the only time things happen. Hold on a second. Sorry, y'all. I'm just working on getting me a place. I'm working on, so I got to deal with my sound quality for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, but overall, having having a complete retrospect of how you see things and how you should absorb things is how things should be when you're dealing with life. Period. Right? And we went so far is to mixing up each action. Like you mix up how you absorb certain things with other energies. You know what I'm saying? You know how people sometimes they refer to circumstances with like movie clips, or you refer to things with a joke, you know what I'm saying, that's said by somebody else or in a movie or with a song, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not reality. This is not facing reality. Sometimes you have to look reality right in its face and say what it is. And even when you do that to people, they live in a false reality to where they're not accepting the level of truth. There's never not nothing unsaid. Everything that needs to be said is already said by particular actions and values. Holding up those retrospects of truth is what it should be. Now, this is where the discernment action, the discernment attribute actually comes into play. You may lay something down as far as how it should go. And because you laid it down that way, you made the wrong choice because they're not following what you laid down, right? So does this pull for anger or does this pull for a level of retrospection? You know what I'm saying? Like so that's when you start to see that people are not really apt to be in particular energies because you talk, you question, you know what I'm saying? You have the right discernment conversations with your choice. And when you have these conversations, the response to the value is what's disturbing. So automatically you're going to learn through these situations what you're actually dealing with, right? This is how you're going to comprehend the value. Once you learn these things, you don't put emotional value into them. You separate from that negative energy, period. You get your opportunity, you separate from that negative energy, and you grow from there. Otherwise, everything else is stagnation. You stagnating yourself. It's nobody's fault. You know what I'm saying? When you hear people repeat that word, somebody's fault all the time, you got to keep in mind you had to carry your legs and your body somewhere and then open your mouth to talk about whatever you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So how'd you carry that load with you wherever you at to talk about what you're talking about? It must be intention. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what intelligence actually does. Like this is why I don't really deal with too many people, especially if the energy you carrying is negative. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, why are you bringing all that over here? Like you came from where you were with that over here. That doesn't speak to the individual. That speaks to you. You're like Channel 9 News or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is funny like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When you see the reality of the world and then you ask yourself, how does this even come into fruition? Well, automatically, your choices, how you perceive and what you listen to and what you don't. Because if you can wash something, but sometimes you gotta wash it a couple times because it's just not clean enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it just ain't get all the dirt out. You see how they clean those carpets? Those carpets be so damn dirty, and they got to keep spraying the water in it to get all the shit out, and it runs all over the concrete. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they deep, deep dirty. So this is the way we should look at how we connect to things, not as if it's dirty, but as if you want to learn everything about it before you aggress to it, before you do anything. Um, what's the word? Before you do anything in private, like because privacy is supposed to be your entire home. You know what I'm saying? So, what's private to you? Like particular levels of conversation, particular meetings of um, intimate closeness. Like, what values to you is a value? You know what I'm saying? That you would consider to be private. You know what I'm saying? That's like a level of respect for yourself, right? If you have that, and automatically, then the gauge would be how the response from the choice would respond to how you feel about particular things. It's just not an emotional thing. This is just assessment. So, in what reality that assessment doesn't play when you're meeting people? Like I see the chats, and I see the dating sites, and I see what every social media allows people to do, and then I wonder. I think to myself, I say, if this is what people really want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like if this is what people really are into, what does it say about the people who really have morality, who really just want to be on some normal shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this always a divide and division? And it's like now you create something for temptation. Like I don't want to go to McDonald's and pick a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny like that. Like you get the menu and you like scrolling. Oh, I like what that looks like, so I'm gonna see what that is. That's some shallow ass shit, yo. That's some shallow ass shit, yo. Like this shit crazy as hell. And I'm like, and I'm not down in it because I've been on social media sites before. You know what I'm saying? Like I did the dating site thing before, but I will never do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't ever do it again because I had to I had to understand why I felt weird about it. It's because I'm sitting there going through menus. You don't know these people just because they look like that. And the way the world is today, you don't know what's under the skin these days. Shit, you don't know what you looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, the world crazy. So I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, nah, I love myself too much. You know what I'm saying? I care for myself too much, and to to look at it, to look at things on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Like even to say I'm that thirsty, I wouldn't. I'll wait because it'll be a moment. It'll be a moment in the world where you out somewhere, or what I'm saying, you get a eye to eye moment with somebody, and if you gotta wait for that, then you wait for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not just giving myself. I'll be in semen retention till I get the winner, and when I get the winner, I'm gonna break her back. Fact, I hold down the semen retention until the winner come through. When she come through, I'm gonna break her back. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Give her all that. Like I don't be thinking about it, but this is how you should have the mentality for any connection in existence. Like you should be willing to sit down and learn about it. Like where is your mind when you first meet people? Does your mind automatically go to what it feels like, or does your mind go to want to know what it is? Like, and if you're attracting the right person, then they should be in the same suit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the universe gotta reschedule the value of what you attracted to because you're magnetic. So your magnet is always pulling what you are. You can't just say you're gonna change. Your magnet didn't change. This is why deep seated change is important. This is why the need for people to go deep inside is important because you have to change your magnet, what you pull toward you. What you It's like saying your cups is full with this type of juice, and that juice is what charges that magnet. So you have to go inside yourself, dump out those cups, and fill it up with something else. So therefore your magnets change. So now you're attracting the right value. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a cry is so powerful, right? Tears is so powerful in sincerity that divine hears that and as an echo. It's like it echoes in divine's head. So divine will come through and put you in the right situation sometimes. Boom. You know what I'm saying? He'll put you around somebody who's strong enough to handle what you ask for, but you won't see that because you ain't changed your magnet. You just cried out. And that cry was sincere. It was so sincere, strong enough to give you what you want, but you wasn't prepared to handle it. You wasn't prepared to deal with it. You wasn't prepared to take care of what divine sent you. And you start by learning how to take care of divine gifts by taking care of the one he gave your ass every day, which is called life, motherfucker. This shit funny to me, yo. Like I want to do a whole show. I got like movies in my head, yo. So if anybody watching this and they got pulled, you know what I'm saying, and y'all think that, the value is good, you get deep down, like, you get on this what I'm talking about right now. Hook me up with somebody you know that shoot movies. I want to sit down and talk to a producer and a writer. You know what I'm saying? Like I got stories, yo. Like, and I do storyboards so I can help out. You know what I'm saying? They just gonna have to put the bread in the boy hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, if y'all get to this part and you got you movie maker dude or something, official movie maker, like I don't want a struggle maker. I need somebody who know what they doing. So when I talk, they understand what to do, what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta be willing to listen. Like this is why I want real movie makers because they sit in rooms and they chop up stories and they really get into the value of what the movie's about. So if y'all know somebody that's making real movies and y'all want to make something epic, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got some juice, yo. I got some shit for you, yo. That ain't nobody never heard before. You already know the vibes. Um, but yeah, this is what anything like people just take shit. You jump on shit because you jump on shit. And me personally, I would jump on some shit right now. You know what I mean? But I'm working on growing. I'm working on trying to get back. You know what I mean? Like I was in a whole nother bracket of life. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that certain people that I was connected to had the prowess or the wherewithal to take this journey with me. You know what I'm saying? And it just never happened. It was like energies was shooting them with some type of rays or some shit. These motherfuckers would transform. You know what I mean? Like so. I wasted a lot of because I put all of myself in the shit. I put myself all into it. Like when I'm doing something, I'm gonna put my all into it, like my all of me. Like so I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to that's one thing about me. I'm a loyal motherfucker, yo. I don't care what nobody think. I'm loyal to a fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I bring to a table. I bring my loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I hold my word. So if I say I'm gonna do something when it gets started, you just better be doing what you said you gonna do. Cause my shit gonna flow. Like if I say, yo, this what I'm gonna do right here, this the time frame I'm gonna do it in, and then this what I'm gonna do after. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that. That's me. You know what I'm saying? If I say it, I'm gonna do it. Cause I was raised to my grandfather always told me it don't hurt because you ain't got a back, you got a gristle. So as I got older, you got to tell me to put shit down. They be like, "What you doing? You gonna hurt yourself?" I be like, "Nah, I got it. Shit, way bigger than me, 4 times bigger than me, but I'm toting it." You know what I'm saying? People ain't never want me to show my strength, yo. It's just crazy. My mom got like one of them big, super big fish tanks and shit, right? Big ass fish tank, and she's like, get somebody to help you carry that outside. I'm like, get somebody. What are you talking about? That thing heavy. So and so and so and so had to carry this in the house. I'm like, man, it ain't that heavy. Yeah, I just want to make shit difficult. You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, and she said, wait to get so and so. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. So she had went outside to set up where she wanted it at so she could clean it. I had to yank that joint off the damn table and had that joint up on the shoulder, my shoulders like this, toting it out the door. She's like, boy, you got that whole thing? I'm like, yeah, that part. And I was way smaller than what I am now. Like I was probably like, I don't know, I probably like 140, like 140. You know what I'm saying? Like I was slim, but I was like ripped up. You know what I'm saying? I was working out every day. So I mean, my family always been small frame. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops is tall, but my family, like my mom, she's small frame. Her mom's a small frame. Her pops is short. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of got, I kind of got like the extra juice from my pops to grow taller than him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like one of the tallest left in my family. Besides, not on that side, I got a cousin, two cousins that's about my height. You know what I'm saying? Or no, one cousin that's dumb tall. This nigga like lurch tall. He on my grandfather's side, but I got and on my pop side, my brother dumb tall. My little brother, this nigga dumb tall. This nigga like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", something like that. I think he's 6'6", he was like dumb tall when he was like in the fifth grade. And he was like 6'4" in his fifth grade or some shit. So I think my little brother dumb tall now. I think he like 6'6", 6'7". And in my mom family ain't too many tall people. Like mostly like my mom's under her mother, like average height, but more stocky people, more like wide built. You know what I'm saying? Stocky. Like so. Yeah, I kind of got. I ain't stocky. I'm slim, but I'm kind of tall. Like I'm just over. I'm just at 6 feet. You know what I mean? So my mom and them is like 5'2". You know what I mean? Like my brother like 5'4". My little brother from his pops, he a little he like about my height, a little like he like 5'11", something like that. Cause his pops kind of tall too. His pops like 5'6'4", something like that. So my little brother got a little height on him too. He kind of stocky. I don't even know why I was sitting there telling y'all. Oh, cause of me. Cause I'm that height. I don't even know why I was telling y'all about height though. I just got lost. It's probably because I got locked into talking about that shit real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like I got off track while I was actually talking about height. And I don't know, probably because I was looking at everybody and it just like pulled me left or whatever. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the concepts of relationship ideas and other connection values was what I was supposed to be talking about, was what the topic was really about. But I kind of slipped off the topic. I don't know what happened. Yeah, but so that's how things supposed to be. Like when you meet somebody, that's what you're supposed to be doing, taking your time. You know what I'm saying? And if someone's in a rush, like that was like the illest message that old heads would give you when you was young. They would tell you if you meet someone and they're in a rush, leave them alone. What are you rushing for? You got a whole life to live. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're rushing to do this and rushing to do that, you might want to check behind and see what's up with them. If they like, will you dying tomorrow? Like, why are you dying tomorrow? Like, why you need me to be in? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the rush for? So you got to start looking at things for its particular value. And then you got some people in it to play the long game. You know what I'm saying? Some people in it to play the long game. So they watching you and they what they call love bombing and all this other bullshit that they created for 2022, 2023, or past the 2000, the 20 year, past the 20 year, they done created all these new terms and shit. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck this shit mean? Nah, you just bullshitting. You just fronting. You just on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that shit, don't change up the terms and shit. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. But noticing these values shows the level of things you might have been attracted to. You know what I'm saying? The type of people. That shit is inside you. So you gotta dump out what you know and fill up them cups with something else. Always depend on the water of faith. The water of faith to change anything. You know what I mean? But people always want to put something in a biblical aspect. It's not biblical, it's spiritual. Biblical was created by man. Biblios, that was created by man. Babel, you know what I'm saying? Babel was created by man. The act of confusion. So watch people who tell you that biblical, but they don't even know what they be talking about. But that's where it came from. Biblical is Babel, Bile. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a book of confusion. That's why they take all the best things and reword it. You know what I mean? That is called manipulation. Pause, slash, segue, value. I don't get too deep into trying to, always explain or prove the biblical aspect of spirituality. Now, spirituality has been here since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? Before man walked the earth, spirituality was spinning. You know what I'm saying? Like before formulation of creation, spirituality was taking place. You know what I mean? This is the hard thing for people to understand or even comprehend. You want to battle something. There is not a battle when you are a baby. You know what I'm saying? There's not a battle when you are like the spinoff to, you're like, what do they call that? You're cola. You're Piggly Wiggly cola. And over here they got Coke. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that type of shit. Like you just came out the blue, like, I'm gonna make cola. I'm gonna water down this soda. And you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not what we doing. It's not what we doing. You the mulatto to the spirituality. You know what I mean? Like that's not the reality. That's the mixed version. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to look at it, in some particular value. Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if people, this is why people don't comprehend it. You want to fight what? And to keep it 100, that was man's perception on trying to explain spirituality. Why do you think spiritual is all through that book? Like it's the main essence of it. The spiritual this, the spiritual that. This is because spirituality existed before man existed, period. So then to understand what that means, then that gets you to comprehend the value of how you should be dealing with shit. Like, don't have me sit down and read everything. For what? Then it's gonna elude the value of a time and a space. Why do you think people create time and space? Why do you think people manipulate just so they can re-infer a value? The re-infer of a value has to make you accept it. I don't believe in half the shit people say. We got goals to fulfill right now. You know what I'm saying? We got marks to make. You know what I'm saying? My phone ring, I'm up, crack a ass. I don't even give a damn. I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving. Everything that's supposed to happen should be an indefinite. What kind of choices are you making in reality? Is it an indefinite or you just like, oh no, it was cool. I was just doing this. So you out here microwaving. So many different ways to waste time in particular values. So you got to take your relationship status important. You got to take that shit serious. You got to literally be more of a cutoff. And I understand why people be like, nah, because you ain't about shit. And I remember when I was young, not about shit, hollering at females like, yo, and they could just dub me real quick, like, yeah, you handsome nigga, but you ain't about shit. And I would think about that shit like, who you think you ain't playing me? I get money, nah, nigga. You was hustling, you was doing this, you had other things going on, you was probably about to go talk to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't on that type time. And you had to understand the difference in between being a young person and merging into an adult. So you start stopping the value. You start comprehending like you treat people how you want to be treated. Even if people don't do it, I treat people how I want to be treated because it ain't about what they do. It's about how I move. And eventually you attract what needs to be deserving of your particular energy. This is patience for yourself. You got to be willing to dump that old water out of you, that old information out of you, so you can fill up fresh, clean, new, vibrant information. And the divine is always giving you new levels of spirituality as you rise. The more you get rid of, the more you can pull back in some new shit. This is the comprehension aspect. So making your choices important. Sitting down, really talking to somebody and engaging a conversation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's your self control like? Like you see somebody and you just gotta touch them. You see somebody, you just gotta engage with them. No, you're an nympho. You're a person that's addicted to that type of activity, whatever that means. Whatever act you're addicted to that. That's not okay. There should be nothing in this world that has you pulling left, right, up, down, sideways. There should be nothing in this world that's that important. If anything, it should be the divine. The divine should have you, in headlocks. Like, yo, I'm gonna move like this because I got to get my shit right. That's the only way you should feel like that. And if you and a person decide to walk together, y'all ride or die together, y'all walking together, then that's one mind. That's a solidification. That's what commitment was supposed to be, that you start getting on this value. And some people wanted commitment so bad back in the day, they would overexhaust the value. They would overexhaust the value before even giving the potential to the partner to make a decision on their own value. It's like trying to trap something. Nah, we don't play games like that. Not in no world. So you have to comprehend the choice of assessment. I remember watching this movie and this girl was like, "Nah, I'm mad." She was like, "What you mad for?" She was like, "Cause they got an arranged wedding and it's gonna force her to marry this dude." She was like, "I don't want him." He looked weird, but he was rich. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "I don't want him. I want." And she ran off. And he was like, "What's going on?" You know what I'm saying? She ran off, and she ran off with this dude that she liked or whatever, kind of, sorta. and end up at the end of the movie, she ended up with her pops or whatever, and they end up going through all this turmoil, and then she ended up saying, "Just let me be who I want to be with." And then the dude ran in there like, "Where's my wife?" He was like, "You're not marrying my daughter." He's like, "What? I thought we had agreement. Agreement off." And she kissed the dude and all this other shit, fake ass happy ever after type shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was the fact that you got to stand on something. If you fall for anything, you fall for anything. Or you, how I go. If you don't stand on something, you'll fall for anything. That type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding that your value of what your commitment is very important, and accepting that understanding to connect the value is what it should be. You know what I'm saying? So take your time when making choices to connect the things. So therefore, when you take your time and you connect to it and you do that the right way, you know what I'm saying? You grow from that. Like, to grow with somebody through some level of struggle, it's nothing wrong with that. That brings you closer together because that's a memory. That's like, yo, we got through that. We set a goal that we both had to obtain at a certain period of time. We got to the end of that goal. We reaped the harvest at the end of that goal, and we moved on to the next project. That's a beautiful thing, especially when you got enough energy to maintain the value and you literally create a larger version of what the plan was. That's a beautiful thing. Who's stopping you? This what this world is here for. Everybody to be in that type of mentality. When people run around here thinking about the wrong shit, you better go pair up with your super dude or your super woman somewhere, and y'all really sit down and talk and get to know each other and vibe with each other. You know what I'm saying? And build with each other, connect with each other on a frequency level. Create a family, create an idea, make that idea work. Put your all into it. Support one another through those values. Get to the end of that situation. Start something different. Keep going until your physical body run the fuck out. Literally, and be happy at everything that you and this individual stand together to do. That's the power of divine. That's bringing two frequencies together under the universal purpose to constantly grow towards something. Do not get lost in the worldly way of things when y'all doing this. Don't fall off and go left into the world because you got something to prove. Never do that. Ever. Find that peace and that calmness within you two. Find that strength and understanding within you two. You can connect to other things, but the item of strength is you two together. That's always the strength. You can connect, you can have friends and all that, but even if y'all separate, it's like you together and you stand strong like that. Nothing will break you if y'all got that mentality on that aspect and y'all both are weaning for the same energy. It's because you will naturally stay fit. That means you will naturally stay connected to fit. Just that energy in itself is fortifying the light. That's you protecting the frequency between y'all two. So understand what that is. You know what I mean? And anything that you want to do in life will come into fruition because you got two times the power. And if your mind is already strong, then you on your way. Especially if you can connect to the value of something that equals your mentality. You already on your way. What's gonna stop you when you a whole universe out here yourself and y'all literally locked in your frequencies? That's what's lacking. There's no locking. Nobody's locked in. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's locked in on a true value. It's all like you might have some 75 percenters. You know what I'm saying? Some 85 percenters, some 92 percenters or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I feel it all the way good unless something like this happens. Nah, that shit is gonna fail already. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, you gotta be all the way in. You gotta be like that movie, what's that movie all about the Benjamins, when in the beginning when Ice Cube went to go get that dude out the house, and I think dude was rolling up a blunt or something like that. He was watching Bugs Bunny and shit. He had the weed plant outside growing and shit. And Ice Cube came in there and was like, "Lil John, Lil J, get your ass on the floor. You going to jail." And he was like, "Baby." And that woman came out of there with that damn cast on. She was busting that shotgun. Booga! Booga! Get off my man! Booga! I give a damn. Yeah, she got her ass knocked out, but she was ride or die. She got Ice Cube knock her ass out clean, knocked the clean out on the damn ground. He sure did, but you know what? She was fighting for her man. That shit was funny to me. I was like, yo, he knocked her ass smooth the fuck out. But she came out that shit busting. She ain't asked no questions, and she had a cast on too. She was like, booga, booga, booga. That shit was funny, yo. And I'm pretty sure he would have did the same for her. You know what I'm saying? So it just be the value, the little nuances. You know what I'm saying? Like love what you sign up for, protect what you sign up for. You know what I'm saying? Nourish it, nurture it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. You don't if you find odds at a decision that you made, it's because the odds is within you. There should be no natural reason for you to get into an aggressive mentality about anything. Or I'm mad about this. Like who wakes up like that? Who live like that? You got shit in you you need to fix. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be a value. And then people who agree to it, that's just people that you're gravitating to. I heard other people say that, yeah, because that shit in you and you gravitating to motherfuckers that's just like your ass. Like that's all that shit is. But I'm talking about a higher echelon of conscious awareness. Who wants to wake up like that? Nobody. Don't you want to wake up and feel good? Don't you want to wake up and know that whatever you next to is already moving on the value of you two together? Whatever that looks like. We ain't even talking about, oh, the two people go in the kitchen, get a coffee cup, get a bagel, and then y'all go to. I ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about real shit, some shit you can't even see right now because y'all don't even like some shit. If I show you, you just gonna get jealous because you can't do it. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of energy. You know what I mean? And I always know what it is. That's why people get lost in it. I always know what it is because I'm gonna meet my goal. Like if the teacher we in the class, teacher like y'all got projects to do. I'm gonna do my project. I'm gonna go get me some poster board. I'm gonna cut stuff out. I'm gonna have glue. I'm gonna have ribbons and sparkly stuff. Like I'm gonna put some stuff on it. It's gonna do all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like my cardboard probably gonna walk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I thought about it in school, and then I'm always turn mine in. It might not be the best in the eyes of everybody else, but it's mine. It's my idea. You feel me? So that's how I always been. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage people to be more like that within your life. Cherish your life. Don't get mixed up in the energy of your homeboys or your homegirls, and they telling you I wouldn't do that. Yeah, you probably wouldn't because you ain't doing much right now to the value. So don't be telling people what you should and what you shouldn't do. Encourage them. If that's what they want to do, encourage them. Tell them if you like it, I love it. If you can handle it, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Stand on shit. So then y'all start going through the experiences for real. Otherwise, you're not even going through the experiences. Y'all just putting your toe in the water and you're running off. Oh, I put my toe in the water. Oh, I did this, what I did that. And y'all ruining energies. Y'all just breaking your energy up into smaller increments, which is making new worlds. The more y'all break up the divine energy, the next world you create, instead of serving the value, you got to learn to serve the value and take this energy and harness it. When you start harnessing this energy, you become the image of what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the future. Ain't nobody telling y'all this shit. You need to harness this energy between the balances. And when you do this and you calm down the wars and individuals and you start teaching what this looks like, you literally create the new world because things are not always going to be here. Shit has to change. You know what I'm saying? Like shit is going to die. And they're trying to formulate ways to keep it around. But if you outdo the formulation with character, if you outdo the formulation of the future with character, it's going to be like, what's the point of that? We don't need that. We don't even think this way. What do we need that for? I'm trying to show y'all the possibilities of the mind. The mind is so strong. And I sit down and I think about so many things. If I was to actually have conversations, like I had a conversation with what's his name? The dude that make the Tesla. What's his name? Whatever his name is. I had a conversation with him in my head, right? And I was talking to him about certain things in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having a conversation with this dude, and I ended up telling this dude that everything he created is no point to it, especially where the minds are gonna be in the next so many years or whatever. It's not even gonna be a point to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a particular understanding to the value. You know what I mean? So I would I would I would suggest that ones would start taking their life a little more serious and your connections a little more serious and stop looking to be a value of egotistical martyr. You know what I'm saying? Stop looking to be, oh, I'm the greatest of this or the greatest of that. Just do your thing. Find something that you into and be sure about that. You too, shorty, find if that's the person you into, be sure about that. Make sure they're sure about that. Talk about things, work through things, and do not go outside of yourself when it you can have space, but don't go outside of yourself when it comes to the communication value. The communication value is what's going to strengthen you. If you go take your information to somebody outside of that, you've broken the connection, you've broken the contract. That contract says whatever motion I make on this contract with this individual stays and states between this individual and I. That's what that contract says when you meet somebody, whether people know that or not. But then you go carrying that energy, trying to say what you want from something else by holding up the conversation or the circumstance that you went through prior. Like that shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Fuck out of here. This shit don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? Like intelligence is a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why we look at children in certain ways by the shit they say. We don't look at that as the epitome. We look at it from a child's point of view. You know what I'm saying? This is what it means by bringing yourself down to levels. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to access these levels, but don't get caught and stuck on one of these levels thinking that that's your mentality. You got to know who you is. Where you at? Who are you? What you doing? Otherwise, you're gonna be sitting there talking about why and how it got here. It got there because you didn't make the right decisions. I'm telling you some real G shit. I've chosen with the wrong parts of me of my understanding, and it didn't work out right. And I can't keep blaming it on the fact that I didn't have guidance. I had to troubleshoot. Yeah, I didn't have particular levels of guidance, but as I went through, I didn't learn it all at one time neither. You got to keep making mistakes, keep making mistakes, keep making mistakes, keep making mistakes until you can put it all together into one perspective. That's the damage that happened, lack thereof of being able to watch somebody do it. That's what happens when you don't get a chance to watch someone do it right. When you become the image, you can be the image of what it looks like to be that. That's really up to you though. Dig what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you.